we know from how habits are truly created, it has to actually bring joy.
Right.
And dopamine, if a dopamine high, if you don't, you're not going to get that habit. If it feels like it's shameful or like you're judging yourself, it's possible that's not your intuition and you're following someone else's.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the restorative combo I had with Meghan Pherrill in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to the episode and you are not new here, you know what to do. If you're brand new here, hi, we're going to talk about something that already happened. And you can listen. If you're like me, you listen to this one and then you listen to the other one. Or you can be like Brad and pause us now.
You do that?
Of course I want, when we watch The Crown, do I not look up the historical facts before we finish?
She does. She always looks up the ending. Yeah, I watch it from start to finish.
Sometimes I get just nervous and I just need to know how it's going to be so that I can sit and pay attention. Because sometimes I'm just so nervous for them that like I can't. You saw my stress results after watching F1.
Yes,
Okay,
I did.
so we saw the F1 movie, and mostly I went for the Brad Pitt part, but my friend said she was on the edge of her seat. And so I looked at my Whoop Band like heart rate monitor, and you can see from the horror film preview to the end of the movie of the F1, you can actually see every time they had a race, because my heart would spike for every race. And I was just like, can someone just tell me if he wins this race so I can just enjoy the race? Because I can't enjoy the race right now because I'm so stressed for him. So that's why I like to listen to these kinds of episodes, podcasts, and then I listen to the one.
Yeah, okay.
Today is October 2nd, 2025. In case you didn't know, it is the day before our 10-year wedding anniversary.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also the actual day of International Day of Nonviolence. Today, we celebrate the birthday of a man who helped bring forward the notion of nonviolence and the tremendous impact this form of social response has all over the world in the last century. On the International Day of Nonviolence, created by the United Nations in 2007, we look back on the influence of an Indian activist born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but known the world over as Mahatma Gandhi. The International Day of Nonviolence honors how Gandhi's work and legacy has impacted global nonviolent protests. The UN has good reason to use Gandhi's birthday to celebrate International Day of Nonviolence. Gandhi's commitment to India's independence and his methods have been the cornerstone of civil and human rights initiatives all over the world. Put simply, Gandhi saw it as completely irrational to use violence to achieve peace, but rather just means
lead to just ends.
Oh, but rather, comma, just means lead to just ends, period. Got it. Okay, this is a lesson we can all take to heart. I mean, I completely agree,
Yeah, it's amazing that, especially in, when he died in 1940s, like late 40s, and his message spread all around the world, which is amazing because there
Do you ever wonder?
No computers, no email.
But do you wonder, like, would
no
Mahatma
social
Gandhi
media.
actually, like, be famous today? Do you know what I mean? Because, like, some of the people we look to were like, wow, like, would they actually keep the attention of the people who are like, hold on, let me see this kid, like, try lemon for the first time? I just kind of like,
Yeah, or drink Coke for the first time.
Here's my faith in humanity's ability to, like, take seriously things that are serious is, like, dwindling every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know what's happened today when this comes out. I'm telling you, we're recording this in August. So, like, who knows what has happened to people's rights between August and August 2nd, because it feels like every day they're trying to take someone's rights or some city's rights away. We're talking about the U.S.
Over the weekend in the U.S., the federal government deployed troops to 17 cities or something like that.
I think they threatened 17
or
cities.
they were gonna take. Yeah, I
But
don't know
by
if
the
it
time this has
yet,
happened,
but
maybe it's happened. But
yeah.
by the time we're recording this, no. So right now they're in DC and they're threatening to go to Chicago and something else. But like,
So they're in LA and DC. Yeah.
And like, I mean, it's all control, right? The more they have you scared, the more they have you changing your life, then it's one day you wake up, it's too late. You can't even vote. So keep protesting. Go find a protest. There's a woman who's 104. I think she turned 104 2 months ago. She protests every Thursday.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. She is 104. She has very few days left on this planet. And she's like, I'm going to spend one of every 7 protesting for people's rights of who are not going to be here.
Well, she's not going to be here for them.
She's not going to be here. Right. Someday she will go. So I'm just saying, too.
But I think also the thing, like we've been.
By the way, we all boycotted Target and look what happened. CEO is gone. So these things work.
Well, the point of it is not necessarily the action of boycotting is important and like, making your voice heard. But I think that the key here is the nonviolent part. Right. Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's really challenging when, the police are out in force or the military is out in force. It's very scary feeling to be in a crowd and, see a clash. And, that is, we haven't been around like extreme violence, but we've been around like high pressure, like environments where you're like, oh, if somebody does one thing stupid, this could all blow up.
Yeah.
Right.
I got really nervous at that one protest because this guy kept taunting the police. And I was like, let's just go over here because like, he's acting a little crazy. They're going to take it crazier. And then who knows?
Yeah. But that's where I feel like that's why we need to focus on the nonviolence, because it's important to make our voices heard. We have to make our voices heard. If we don't do that, then there are people who will make decisions that will hurt us, right? As a society, literally individually. But how do we do that in a way that doesn't make us exactly like them?
Yeah, well, you're going to call your congressperson and senator every day. You are going to not pick every single company to boycott. I get it. Life's hard. We got to do something. We still shop in some places I'm not happy about. But you got to like pick, like, I'm not doing these places.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to we did an FYF where I explained how you could like boycott in a way that was like successful for you and where your life is. You could borrow things. You can also, like, let's say you have a caretaker. You don't have time to go out on a Saturday to go protest. Okay, great. So then how can you help promote protests? How can you make sure that everyone goes out? Like, how can you do that? And, there's always a way, no matter what your situation is. But I get that you're busy and I get that you're tired. I get that you're scared. We don't have time for that. And if you don't live in this country and you're having to listen to us every Thursday talking about this, tell your American friends to get the fuck up and do some action, nonviolent action. We got to do it. Like, it's just so important. And I promise you, you feel better after you do it. Nonviolence to me does not mean telling people, like, yelling what you want to yell out. That's what you could do at a protest. It's quite nice. I find it cathartic.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a fit. Did we share this already? So we were at a protest and there's like some dickhead on his little vape sucky thing. Can't handle grown people with like a little passy. Anyways, he's like flipping us off. And the guys next to us were like, oh, I'm going to pray for you. And he's like, they hate that. And I was like, oh, yeah, thoughts and prayers. So if you have some dickhead, fascist, loving person in your life, you can just be like, when they flip you off or they call you something, don't worry, I'll be praying for you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm praying
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
For you and your children.
Yep.
Anyways, today.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more to say? I think Gandhi is great. Have you watched the movie? Go watch it. If you're like, Gandhi, I haven't thought about it in a while. There's a movie about him.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get ChatGPT to give you the cliff notes as well. But like.
It's worth watching.
I think it's worth watching. I think it's nice to learn about it. People think that this is all new. None of what we're going through is new.
No, the same stuff happened in the 60s. I mean, we're recycling fascism. I mean, it happened in the 40s and the 30s.
Yep. We're just
20s.
And I love this. If we don't learn history, we're doomed to repeat it. People do learn history and they're still repeating it, So it's also, I think, a lot of people who think that like they could never be in a cult. They could never fall for that. They could never understand coercion because they would never let that happen. And yet they're also the same people, very coerced. So, take some time to learn about Gandhi today. And what can you do that's nonviolent today to protest what you're pissed off about? Tell us what you decided to do. Tag us in the Beit Pod. We'll share it. We'll share it with friends. Today is October 2nd. We are in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
As we speak, we're having a great time with our members, and people came to a workshop, and we'll be at the Balanced Bodies Plaza on tour tomorrow.
Yeah, if you are in Chicago, we're going to coordinate members only hang. So, if you can come hang. If you're listening to this podcast and you're at POT and you're not a member, just come hang out anyway. We'd love to meet you and hang out with you.
Where is it? You got to reach out to us. Just text the company.
Yeah, just text us 310-905-5534. Text us there and we'll let you know.
Supposedly, Instagram is just going to start telling everyone my location. And last week, it was everyone showing, this is how you turn the location things off. And I was like,
a bad idea.
I was like, oh, great. Then people will know where I am. Like, I don't know.
Funny. Turn that shit off.
Brad, do you know how many people go, oh, you live in LA, right? Like everyone still thinks,
right.
So it doesn't really matter.
No, I think your profile can say Vegas.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't actually know how
Maybe
it
if
works.
it's general and you're like, I'm in the city of.
We tell everyone where we are already, so I'm just really not so sure, like how, like what they're gonna say. She's at the movie theater. Like how specific is it getting? Like I don't know. So
we'll see.
You know what? The fucking earth is on fire. I'm not really worried about this right now. I don't currently have a stalker that is yelling at me. If I do, I'll figure that out. But that's not I'm sure there's a VPN for that.
That's fair.
But after this weekend, we leave for Cambodia for our retreat.
Yeah.
And so we want you to join us next October. Once you get on the wait list at crowsnestretreats.com. So go do that.
Yeah, come join us in January of next year. We're going to be announcing the early bird special.
Yeah.
And
next year is the early bird. October is the retreat.
Yeah, October. It's going to be like the third week of October, 18 to 23.
It's a little later
like
because of a holiday. I don't want to be there. We don't like being on a retreat during Chompen because it's like the Dies Meritus and they're
Pachumben.
Yeah. And they literally sell it for 30 days. But the first 3 days are a really big deal. And it makes it really hard to go into the temples because some of the rooms are blocked off for the holidays. So
yeah,
we go around
they're doing
it.
a lot of, there's a lot going on there that we are trying to avoid for next year. So yeah. Anyway, come join us. And we're telling you now so that you have a literal year.
No
excuses.
Plan.
That's right. No excuses, y'all. The spots are limited. And if you want the information, get on the wait list. Go to crowsnestretreats.com now. And then we're really fired up on the way home from this year's trip. We are going to be teaching in Singapore. And then really what I'm really fired up about is we're going to go do the botanical gardens. If you've never looked these up, y'all, you have to look them up. I saw them in a movie and I was like, that doesn't look like CGI. What the hell? Where is that place? I need to figure this out. And it is the botanical gardens at night in Singapore. And they are up on this walkway that's raised up above the city with these epic statues that are full of, vegetation and the gardens that they've built. And it is just mind-blowingly cool. And I've been dreaming of going there for many, many, many years. And
we have a 15-hour layover during the day, so we can do workshops and the gardens.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So go check that out.
You can't check out our workshop, but you can go check out their gardens.
That's right. Yeah. The workshop is a private event, but the gardens are dope. Winter tour.
It was announced yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I bet you can go to opc.me/tour at this point.
Yeah, you can go to opc.me/tour. I'm sure the events was redirected to tour, but if not, you'll get an email saying you're on the wait list. Thanks. Oh, by the way, tour is open. Click here. So go check your email if you just signed up on the wait list, opc.me/events or opc.me/tour. We are planning to do another 8,000 miles. We are
crazy people.
We're looking at like 22 to 24 cities, I think, on this tour. And we're really looking forward to being back up in the Northeast, all the way back down in Miami. Well, we're going to do Fort Lauderdale this year instead of Miami, but we'll be in the area.
Yeah.
And then, it's going to be awesome. So we can't wait to hang with you again in person. If you've joined us last year, just so that you know, tickets are starting to sell really fast when we make these announcements. So
especially for winter tour, because people can go see family members at certain places. So they are on it. They're watching it.
So tickets opened yesterday.
Yeah.
So go check it out. opc.me/tour. Now, we got some exciting things. We're already talking about 2026 here.
Yes.
What's going on in January?
The Pilates Journal Expo in Huntington Beach, which is near Los Angeles. It is, I think the dates are like the 9th and 10th or the 10th and 11th. At any rate, it's like right there. As soon as we end the tour, we go there and we do a couple great events there. It's their first expo in the US. I'm really excited for them because we need more conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need more ways to get together.
It's going to be awesome. So we've got a new URL for you, everybody.
I know.
Are you ready? This is the unveiling of
xxll.co/Pilates journal. So my initials, how I sign off, xxll.
.co/Pilates journal.
Yep.
That'll take you straight to the Pilates Journal Expo.
And they have tickets already.
Yep.
You can buy them.
It's available.
And then in March, we're going to be in Poland, the Contrology conference it's like Wrocław. And then some people try to say, oh, Wrocław. And that's not how you say it. It's like Wrocław. But I'm going to be there. And so it's xxll.co/Poland. And then the next week we'll be in Brussels. Different workshops, same great people. So come to both. xxll.co/Brussels. So that's Q1. That's as far as I'm going with you guys. As far as I'm telling you. I don't want to scare myself. Okay, we got to
then we're going to be in London in April.
Okay, well, just let the cat out of the bag, babe. I'm not talking about Q2. No. Refuse. We have to wait a couple months.
Oh, shoot.
No.
All right, we'll wait.
I don't then it's like, and then in June, and then people are like, it's too much. They're not listening more. We're losing listeners.
It's true. All right, here we go. We had an audience question. Kaylee Nicole Medina asks, hey, Lesley, I want to ask you, which classical reformer do you recommend for a small studio that I'm opening? I'm planning to have only 4 reformers. And Kaylee, I can already tell you exactly which reformer she's going to recommend.
Taking over the answers these days. Well, let's see.
Lesley is, if you don't know this, Lesley is a Pilates Contrology demo center right here in
whole
Las
self, yeah.
Vegas. Lesley herself. Our home is a demo center for Contrology. So, of course, she's going to go with the Contrology reformer, which is 80 inches.
Well, they have a couple, but
the ones that we have are 80.
They're 80.
So for a smaller studio, get the 80 inches.
Yeah, they're going to work for people up to 6'3" and all that stuff. And then the other thing I will say, Kaylee, is if you're like, you could do 280 and 286s. So that way, if you had a couple tall people, you could do that. They're still not, what I like about them is they're lightweight, so they're easy to move around. So if the floor is like hardwood floor, you could put some little felt on the bottom, and it's really easy to like slide things around. And Kaylee, if you want to take it up another notch, here's what I'm going to say. You can get both the 80 and the 86 with towers on them. Now, obviously,
you can get the 80s with tower.
Man, they don't advertise, but you can ask for. You gotta talk to me. I'll give you to my girl. My girl will help you out with it.
Here's the deal. That.
If you are a taller body, it's obviously not a long enough mat for you, which is why I'm suggesting 286s, 280s, and with towers. And now you have a small studio with 2 different. And get this.
That's right. You'll get the reformers, the towers, and you'll be able to put the mats right on them.
By the way, but wait there, and that's just it. You can buy the handles. This is how genius Balance Body and Contrology are. They made it so that converted mat for a tower, you could put the classical mat handles in, and now it's a 3-in-1.
Come on.
You're welcome.
That's pretty
brilliant. You can use my discount.
Yeah.
And that's going to save you like 5%, which is like shipping. So you're welcome.
Yeah. So reach back out, Kaylee. That's great. I didn't know that. Fancy. Shh, don't tell. If you have a question, just text us at 310-905-5534 or submit your question at beitpod.com/questions, beitpod.com/questions, where you can leave your wins or your questions. And we really actually love hearing from you.
I want your wins. I want all your wins.
We want more wins.
Of course I want your questions, but I want your wins too.
Yeah. Bring it on. All right. Well, stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into this combo that Lesley had with Meghan Pherrill just a minute. All right. Welcome back. Let's talk about Meghan Pherrill. Meghan Pherrill is the creator of Balanced by Meghan, a wellness brand and top Canadian podcast, Balance Your Life. Shaped by her journey through personal challenges and past trauma, Meghan discovered yoga, meditation, and healthy eating habits as tools to rebuild her life and really battle OCD and debilitating trauma, right? Today, she inspires others to embrace small, sustainable changes that lead to a well-balanced life. Through retreats, workshops, and her podcast, she empowers people to tune into their intuition, find patience in their healing journey, and create a life rooted in health, resilience, and authenticity. So, yeah, it was definitely an intriguing conversation. There's definitely a lot more to that conversation that y'all didn't go into. But what? Tell me what is one of the things that jumped out at you?
Well, I think like what I really was like interested in talking with her about, because being it till you see it, is like she used to she she is diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yeah.
Right. She had depression and anxiety. And like she now is in a whole different place in her life, right? And she worked through all those things. And I'm just like, I think that's really amazing, because I think a lot of people have this badge of, oh, I have anxiety, or I'm depressed, or I have OCD. And they use it as like, and that's why I can't X, Y, and Z. And she had this breakup that was a total wake up call for her.
Yeah.
And she was able to realize that she'd become someone she didn't want to be. She didn't like who she was. And I mean, it's kind of like last week's episode with Wendy Valentine, like got out of a relationship, but different points in their life. Meghan is very young.
Yeah, sure.
And so it's not like a midlife crisis. It's like no, you're an adult now, and you don't like what's going on with your life and who you become. And so she put all this energy into this relationship, and she changed herself, and she just didn't like who she was. So it didn't work, but she found herself in another way, which is like led her to discovering yoga, and she got off her medications, and she started eating really clean. And that really allowed her to like start to become this person who, isn't being controlled by OCD and depression, anxiety.
Yeah. I think the thing that I loved about that kind of buckles right into it is that change from something like that. It was fast and slow at the same time. And she kind of emphasized that it was quick in the grand scheme of things, but it wasn't quick in the moment.
Yeah.
And she said she felt so lost, and was like, she talked about, having the will to live.
Yeah.
And she realized the necessity of trying to be happy. She said it was a long journey, but it was her truth, and that her advice for others starting their wellness journey is to just start with one thing.
Yeah.
One thing at a time, and give yourself time to do the one thing. Like, this isn't like one thing today and a new thing tomorrow and a new thing the next day and a new thing the next day. She's like, just focus on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking obsessive compulsive in a way that I've only seen portrayed in movies.
Yeah.
Flip the lights on and off multiple times,
Yeah.
open and shut the door multiple times, stand up, sit down. She mentioned something about checking her books something like 46 times. I don't understand that. I don't even understand what she's doing when someone would be doing that.
I know. I think like it's like, now I want to know more about OCD, because I do think people flip it and go, oh, I have OCD. Oh, and I like, and maybe you do, but I
think there are different extremes of OCD.
This is completely time consuming. I mean, she had a traumatic.
You mentioned that. You were like, man, that must have been so much time. And she said, you don't even know. She's like, yeah, it was a lot of time.
Yeah. Like, and of course, that's what I focus on. Like, how much time is that? Like, just seems like a lot of time. Is one reason why I don't think I could become OCD, because like, I just can't, I hate wasting time. That would really
what she said was quick was the breaking of the habits. And she said that was, and that was also from interestingly, it was like a traumatic moment snapped her out of some of the habits that she had formed. And it was her grandfather. She got news that her grandfather was, I don't remember if he was diagnosed or if he had actually passed away yet, but he was incredibly important to her. And there was like this moment of clarity that really changed things for her. And she stopped the habits. And then she's, so now she's not, checking her books 46 times, standing up and sitting down 15 times, and she said, all of a sudden I had so much time on my hands. And then she asked, she said, what are you going to do with it? You might as well do something that makes you feel happier with that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think how cool that she got to do it at such a young age, because and now she's like, her whole life is so different. She has an amazing podcast. She's got a kid, and it
sounds like she connected with a really supportive boyfriend and now husband, who happens to have a great name. Yeah. And
is it Brad?
It is.
Yeah.
But he was helping her through the steps that kind of, I guess helping her through is the wrong way. he was there alongside her
I think,
through the change.
and I think, I think that can go both ways. I think it could be like, oh my God, like if you're alone and like, I just wish I had someone to go through this with. If you are currently alone, there might be someone you can hire or like a person to go through it with that like you could bring on versus a partner, because not every partner not every partner is as great as this person.
Right.
Like, so she had a perfect person to be on her side who like could see the person she wanted to become and could envision that dream and like be there for all of the journey. But you might end up finding out you're with someone who doesn't want to be part of that journey. And then it makes it, so I would just say like, don't be jealous or think the grass is green on the other side. If you're wanting to make a change like this, there are people out there who want to help you. There are services out there. And I that's one of the things I find so fascinating. The more I learn about services in the world, there are literally services. There is a charity who will do anything. So like there's going to be someone out there. It's not the easiest thing to like look for help, but like we had that one guy on who talked about all the different ways you can get money or food or diapers. We just found out from the charity we donate to that they will help people who can't afford dog food.
Yeah.
Get dog food so they can keep the dogs. So the dogs don't go into the shelter. So like there is so if you are needing help with something right now and her journey has like sparked something in you, like please advocate for yourself to get help.
Yeah, there's a community called the International OCD Foundation, or the IOCDF, and it provides education, resources, community support, professional training. So you can there definitely are tools.
Yeah.
If you are feeling isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's really cool. I don't know anyone who's had this, but I've always wondered like what it's like, and it was really nice of her to share that with us and then share how she's changed her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a true be it till you see it story.
It was, and I'm excited for her that she, has been moving forward and building these things and, starting a family and doing all this stuff. So that's great. It's, I think she's clearly doing things that are making her happier now. So good for her.
We can all learn from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into those be it action items that we had with Meghan Pherrill. All right, so finally, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Meghan Pherrill? She said, hey, start with meditating 5 minutes a day. It will absolutely change your life. Just 5 minutes. And she said, if you're brand new to this, maybe set aside 10 minutes so that you can get 5 minutes in, because it is hard. I can tell you from personal experience, what do you think about when you're meditating? Are you supposed to think about things? I don't really know. I have all these preconceived notions of what it is. She said, but ultimately recognize that you can. 5 minutes is just 5 minutes. You got this, right? But she said, choose a style that resonates with you. She said, if you struggle to quiet your mind, but you can listen, maybe you do a guided meditation, where you're listening to a YouTube video. I've done this, and I find that really helpful because it allows me to focus on something instead of just letting my mind wander. If you prefer a physical element, you can try breathwork style meditation, which obviously we've also done, especially with your, being breathwork certified. And then that will really help you focus on your breath and, counting and just focusing on that thing. We often talk about in yoga and in Pilates that it is a movement meditation, because when you are so focused on the movement, you cannot think about anything else. Like there's no room for it in your head. And that is a form of meditation, right? That's where that mind-body connection starts to happen, kind of a thing. And she said there's plenty of relatable teachers and resources out there. Find someone online. You can find someone on YouTube or podcast apps who you like their voice.
There is this one person who I heard on a podcast once. She said that she does an 11-second meditation. She turns it on and the person goes, inhale, exhale. That's 11 seconds.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you too can meditate. And then she said, get comfortable. And she said, some people like to meditate first thing in the morning. So if you're getting comfortable in your bed, make sure you sit up. Otherwise, you're just going to fall back asleep. But meditation doesn't require a rigid posture per se, right? You don't need to be like stiff as a statue or like a monk or whatever. You can lie down or you can be in a comfortable position, just be aware that it's, if you're doing it right after you've woken up, you might just fall back asleep.
I get in the cold plunge before I meditate. That's just like, it's not going to happen.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And then, when the two of you were talking about permission to be imperfect, right? It's not about being perfectly still or having the clearest mind. It's about being kind to ourselves and setting aside time to let our brain think and process things and, in a subconscious way that we're not like actively, we're creating space for. That's what the meditation will do.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about one more thing that I think is it's really beautiful, and it kind of rings true with last week. So if you're avoiding last week's Be It Action Item, this is going to keep knocking on your door until you do it. But first she said, follow that intuition of yours, just run with it and go with it. I'm studying tarot right now, and you'll know why, because we have a tarot guest coming up. I'm studying it, and the High Priestess card is all about the intuition and like going into your intuition and having making sure that you're like understanding, because it's mystery. Like intuition can also be like a mystery, right? Like what am I saying? What am I feeling? Is that my words? But anyways, so you can think of it as a High Priestess card and learn about that, or you can figure out like how do you best understand what your intuition is saying? What does it sound like to you? So she said, whatever's calling you or resonating with you, follow that intuition of yours, just run with it and go with it. Like just leap, right? And then she also said, don't make it complicated. Just start and see how you feel. And she also reminded us to give it some time too. It's not a one-time thing. So she said it before, we're saying it again. It's not a one-time thing.
Yep.
You have to keep doing it. And she also said, as you're doing it, how did I feel? How did I feel? And that's
Ask
so
yourself.
important, because we know from how habits are truly created, it has to actually bring joy.
Right.
And dopamine, if a dopamine high, if you don't, you're not going to get that habit. If it feels like it's shameful or like you're judging yourself, it's possible that's not your intuition and you're following someone else's thing. So
I think that's one of the things I constantly remind myself, but also when people ask me, why do you do a cold plunge every morning? It's a decision, but how do I feel afterwards? I've been describing it as the best cup of coffee I didn't have.
yeah.
You feel alert, awake immediately. And the cold is only cold for a second.
Yeah.
Right. And now, like, because I've done it so many times, that like shock of cold water isn't really even there anymore, even when the temperature's in the 40s, because it's cold, but like I already know what to expect. But afterwards, even with just 3 minutes, you feel your brain is going. It is actually functioning. You're up an atom. It's awesome. So
I hate it and love it. And I was on Megan's podcast, and she asked me about cold plunging, and she was like, yeah, because everyone's saying like women should cold plunge. Oh yeah. Because being a woman means being told to cold plunge and not cold plunge.
You're gonna grow hair in your chest if you
being
cold plunge.
being told to do this and not do this. It's like just, we talked about in Amy Ladine's episode that's coming out in December, and we're gonna talk about habits. We're gonna have a whole habit series. So this really is building up for that. But like being a woman today with everyone going, weight this, it's not gonna do anything. Do a cold plunge. It's the worst thing you can do during your luteal cycle. Blah, blah, blah. I told Megan, I said, I don't actually care. And you have to listen to the whole conversation, but I'm summarizing. I said, it makes me feel good, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't make me feel good anymore, then maybe I do something different. But I'm only in it for 4 minutes. Like I'm doing it for 15 minutes every day. It's 4 minutes, and it really does shake the sleep off, bring me to my life, and it makes me excited to start the day.
Yeah.
And how could anything be bad if it makes you so excited to take on your day? There's no way that could be bad for me. Impossible.
Well, Megan's podcast is called Balance Your Life. I'm just going to look up really quick.
What episode number I was?
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly. So
I don't either, but it's out. It came out.
Did it? Cool.
I think so. Just go to it. Just go. She's got
go
great
look
advice.
at the Balance Your Life pod.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the top podcasts in Canada, so it's super cool. Way to go, Megan. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for listening to us. Send in your wins, send in your questions, send this to a friend who needs to hear it. And until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.